Gotta get more followers.
Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, welcome to the video. I'm the Canadian Futures Trader. Today's video, you saw it by the title, I'm going to be talking about why day trading is awesome, to put it bluntly. I'm going to give you a little bit of my background, why you should listen to me, kind of go through 5 of the key points that I believe day trading is just awesome. I'm going to keep it simple, going to keep it light. Let's go through though, but as well, very valid reasons why I think day trading is a fantastic opportunity. Give you a quick background about myself. So I trade in the futures market. I trade the U.S. Treasury bonds. I started trading just in 2020. So really, I would consider myself a relatively new trader still, but definitely have come a long way in the last several years. Before I got into trading, I spent several months researching futures, researching funded trader programs, trader methodology, all that type of stuff. I started a YouTube channel, which we're watching this video on, in late 2020. I was going through different trader valuations. I'm not going to talk about those too much in this video, maybe like at the very tail end. But basically a prop firm where you can try out, and if you can prove your trading abilities, they will fund you. So I started this YouTube channel just to track my progress through a few of the evaluations I was in. Also started a website, the CanadianFuturesTrader.ca, link down below, in early 2021. For newer traders. Basically, when I found one problem that I was having as a new trader myself was just finding good information, especially about the futures market and trading there. So I started my website just to get good information out there, and it's grown from there. Who would have known? But the entire Canadian futures trader personality persona really took off, and it's been a lot of fun kind of passing on the information that I have to other traders now. I launched a free course in late 2021. It's on my website. I have nothing to sell. I'll just say that up front. I'm not selling anything. There's no way to pay me money for anything, you know, in the links, in my videos, on my site, nothing. Free course, just trying to give back and kind of explain a lot of what I had learned about treasury trading. I've passed evaluations with multiple trader valuation companies, and over the last several years, I managed to amass over $1 million in funding from the various companies. So myself, I haven't had a real job, and by real job, I mean, you know, like a corporate kind of job you have to go to. My background is kind of corporate. You know, I worked my way up through the professional ranks to the executive level, but that all ended in 2007. You might be asking yourself, hey, you've only been futures trading for a few years. What did you do, you know, in that kind of 10-year gap there between 2007, or a 13-year gap, I guess? I was working for myself, but I was still kind of had a real job. I was in the consulting world. So while I was still working for myself, working from home, my own company I'd started, still was tied to companies, still had to report to people, you know, had projects to complete. So I finally broke away from that completely when I managed to get into futures trading, and couldn't be happier. So before we start, you know, I'm just going to say it up front, trading is not easy. Don't take anything that I put out in this video or on my site or anything to make it sound like trading is easy. And I try to be very upfront about that, and I don't try to paint the picture that it is easy. You know, most people will fail at trading. I have a full disclosure in the video description. You should read that. There's also a link to my site, which has the disclosures. As well, everything I say in the video, I mean, this is my own personal experience, really is. So, you know, as we go through the reasons why I think day trading is awesome, I'm going to sprinkle in kind of my own tales and where I'm coming from with those points. But I know lots of other people have lots of other reasons why they would love day trading, and I don't doubt it. So, as well, there's no fluff, there's no fakeness here. I'm not going to show pictures of Lamborghinis and Bali trips, you know, like a lot of, you know, fake traders do to try to kind of sell the dream. Remember, I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling dreams, and I'm not selling products or courses or anything like that. I'm just trying to help out someone who's maybe, you know, trying to figure out this world of day trading and if they should entertain it. I mean, obviously, based on the title, I think it's awesome, but I want to kind of relay why I think it's awesome. So getting right to it, number one, the freedom and the time that you have available. As it says here, if there was only one reason why day trading is awesome, this would be it. Forget the money, forget all the other stuff we're going to get to. the freedom is worth more than I think a lot of people maybe realize. When I say freedom, I mean freedom of daily schedule. You can trade when you want to trade. You don't have to trade every single day, every single waking hour of, when the markets are open. I only trade from about 8 a.m. to noon, and typically not on Fridays. Sometimes I'll trade on Friday, or sometimes I'll trade on afternoon, if I have some time, if I'm feeling like it, but I don't have to. You really have a daily schedule. I mean, on top of that, if you want to, myself, I take my dog to the dog park. If, he's in the mood to go to the dog park, I can just up and leave and go to the dog park at, 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Like, I don't have some type of mandatory schedule that I'm stuck to. As well, the freedom to travel. I mean, not something everybody is going to be enticed by, but again, I said I'd speak to my own experiences. This past summer, I, up and went and visited some family for an entire month. No big deal. I was able to trade there, from my laptop. Years coming up, I actually have quite a few travel plans, and trading won't get in the way of that. Trading has enabled that, so really has created that freedom. I mentioned this here, all the freedom and the time ties in well to point number 3, which is coming up, which is talking about, kind of the money. But basically, it really is kind of a snowball thing if you manage it well. The more success you have, the more means you'll have with trading, and the more you can do with your freedom. Like if you're starting out day trader and it's your first month, the freedom to travel might not matter much. You might not have the capital to go travel. But that said, once you kind of get the ball rolling, you become successful at trading, that's when that opportunity, the freedom, along with the kind of income sources really help. And last point I put on here, I know it might not be as relevant to nearly as many people these days, but no commuting. But I imagine some people still commute to a job, even in these days of telecommuting and everything else. Again, reflecting on my past, I used to have to drive about an hour each way to go to work. So besides going to a job that I didn't particularly enjoy, I had to drive 2 hours a day to do that. So don't have to do that with day trading. Do it from home. So number 2, low barrier to entry. It's really not difficult to get into day trading. Now, caveat, it depends on what you trade and what kind of your general life plan is. I come from the futures background, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. You can see it on the screen. If you're looking, though, to trade only your own money and only in the stock market, yeah, you're going to need a substantial amount of capital, more than a few $100. In my world, though, futures trading, pretty low barriers to entry. You can open an account for as little as $500. I think even lower at some brokerages. You can take one of the funded futures trader programs for, literally under $100. They're all running sales. If you visit my site, this isn't the focus of this presentation, but I'm a big proponent of kind of the funded trader programs. I've had a ton of success with them, and you can get involved with those for fairly cheap and basically trade someone else's money. Same with FX. I know there's programs out there that allow you to do those funded trader programs in the FX world. So as well, visit my site and learn all about that. So point being is it doesn't take a lot of money to get in. At its core, all you really need is a computer and an account. You might be thinking, well, what about software? Well, there's free trading program software out there. It might not be the best, but they're available. And a lot of times the funding programs will give you powerful software and let you use it for free during the evaluation. As well, I encourage people, there's plenty of free educational resources out there. When I learned to trade and taught myself, I use nothing but YouTube videos. I mean, there's so many people trying to sell courses and sell systems and everything else. Don't buy into that stuff. Just, I encourage you to put in the legwork and learn for free. And I'm going to talk a little bit, I think it's my last point in the slides, about giving back. And that's like what I do a lot now. Now, since I learned a lot from others, now I try to help others learn trading in the futures and treasury markets. So the third point, and I think this is the one where most people think of first, is a large potential income. But a few points about that, just to kind of bring you back down to earth. Realistically, you're not going to trade a $500 account and turn it into $1 million overnight. It just doesn't happen. No matter what YouTuber or Instagram person, says, they're trying to sell you something and show you how quickly you can get rich. And that's not true. It takes time and hard work. But that said, there is no income cap. You're only limited to your own skills and abilities and desires, and how much you want to trade and all of that type of stuff. Really, I personally believe hard work does pay off. The more experience you have over the years, and if you work on refining your skills and, fine-tuning your systems and becoming kind of a diligent trader, that does translate into more earnings, and you will see that direct payoff. Trading is not a job where you earn X amount per hour or X amount per year. Reflecting again back on my corporate days, my salary was whatever it was. Say it was $100,000 a year. That's what I was going to make. There was no upside or downside. I was going to make $100,000 a year. As long as I, didn't get fired to quit, that's what I was going to make. Obviously, work's very different in the trading world. If you put in the work and work really hard and, become good at trading, really the sky is the limit. Again, come down to earth though. You're not going to turn $500 into $1 million quickly overnight, but long term, that potential is there, and that's not something you get from a sort of traditional job. So number 4, I listed peace of mind. And I think, again, reflecting back to the beginning of the presentation, this is, for me, this is what I think are kind of the big benefits as to why day trading is awesome. Again, coming from a corporate world, day trading, there's no project waiting for me. There's no meeting to attend. There's no conference call I have to schedule. You work for yourself. You trade when you want. You have no one to report to. Second point, you have no one reporting to you. I have no staff to manage. I hated managing people my corporate days. As you move up in the corporate world, that kind of comes with the turf. You all of a sudden have a staff to manage. I'm not a good manager. I hated it, in fact. But if you want to make the big bucks, you got to, move up the ranks and all that. So all that is gone now. I don't have to manage anyone, and no one is managing me. You also don't bring your work home with you. I remember many times, you have a project you're working on and you don't have time to finish it, and you spend your entire weekend dreading Monday because you have to go back and keep working on something. Also, no office politics, that just kind of comes naturally. There's always personalities and people you don't want to deal with or situations that arise. Going to a full-time job comes with a lot of baggage, projects, all that stuff that you're having to worry about, as well as the people aspect. Myself, much prefer, kind of working for myself, not having to deal with all that. Next is there's no having to try to climb the ladder, kind of the corporate ladder, the job ladder. I'm using corporate as again, my experience and my example in this presentation. But, even if you just work at a retail job and the next step up is, the assistant manager, same idea. You are kind of capped until you move up to that next level, and, you're going to have to work hard to get there. And even once you get there, then you're capped at that level for a while. So you don't have to do that when you're day trading, and you're in complete control of where you take things. You know what? Like, if you just want to trade, like say you only have time to trade, 2 hours a day, that's fine. Say you want to put in the work and trade 8 hours a day every single day, and on the weekends you want to study charts and learn new systems and all that. You can do that too with day trading. It's really up to you how much work you want to put into it. So you're in complete control of how far you can take things. So number 5, and this is kind of my last official slide, and then I have a few more follow-up points before we finish up. It's fulfilling and it's rewarding. It's not just the financial rewards. Yes, the money is great. Like, that goes almost without saying. You have to work hard for it, but the money is great. But there's other rewards as well. You can always grow as a trader. You can learn new techniques. You can trade new products. Myself, I'm someone who is kind of one of those lifelong learner people. Like, I always like to be learning something new, and trading really gives you that opportunity. Even now, I've only been trading for about 3 years. I kind of have my craft down as far as what I trade in terms of the treasuries. But that gives me the opportunity to try other things, and I'm trying other things in the trading realm, in the futures realm. So there's always something new you can learn and something you can try. So there's potential to grow in that aspect, and the things that you do to put in the growth might also translate into, further, it kind of snowballs, further income and all that type of stuff. The third point says there's no limit on how good you can get. There's just always room to grow. And the final point here is you can always give back, and you can teach others. And I put in brackets for free. I would encourage people to don't, use your new superpowers for evil. I myself put in a lot of hard work to learn how to trade treasuries. I was fortunate enough to find a few resources that I was able to learn from. And then I put in my own work and really refined it and kind of learned it, and somewhat self-taught and somewhat relied on others. But now I'm able to kind of pass on that information and that knowledge to other people myself. And that is fulfilling to see that people are using what I'm teaching them, and now they're able to kind of make a living and transition to day trading as well. And again, I do that for free. It's almost paying it back to the market. I'm not out to make money from selling a course or something like that. I make my income from trading. Helping others is just kind of rewarding. So final points, yes, day trading is awesome. That's what the video is named. It's also hard work, though. I don't want to snowball anyone. It really is a lot of hard work, but it's hard work in a different sense than maybe you're thinking. It's not hard work in you have to put in 10 hours a day every single day type of hard work. It's hard work in that you need to learn a new craft, most likely. You need to figure things out. You need to kind of avoid the people who are trying to mislead you or sell you stuff that really isn't of value, but they are trying to convince you it is. And you have to be able to deal with the ups and downs as well. I mean, there's a lot of, swings, and it's not the type of job where you go to work every day and you get paid every day. There's not that level of consistency. You have to be okay that some days are going to be losing days. So it's definitely some hard work, if anything, mentally. It takes a special type of person to stay at home all the time. I think this is where my, kind of leaving the corporate world in 2007, but working in consulting from home, was kind of, I've been doing this for 15 years now, like working from home. I know, though, for some people, it's a bit of a transition. If you're a social person, you like going to the office, you like all that type of stuff, or just, whatever type of job you have, staying at home in front of a computer without much interaction, it might be a bit of an adjustment. I encourage people to balance their life, so don't be a nonstop trader. Again, this is all my opinion. I know plenty of traders who trade the wheels off themselves. They trade from the market open till the close, all day, every day. That's not me. I trade 4 hours a day, like I mentioned. I like to go to the park. I like that nice balance. I used to be one of those traders who traded nonstop all day, every day, and you feel like you're missing out if you're not in front of the computer. And it's not really true, but that's a whole aside. It's like a little tangent of mine. Maybe at some point I'll make a video about that. But I encourage you to try and balance your life. If you start to feel like trading is taking over your life, just step away. Just trade less and be a more disciplined trader. And then the last point here, if you are a self-starter, you love to learn, you can handle those ups and downs mentally and financially, hey, then maybe trading is for you. So if all of that sounds appealing, I definitely encourage you to kind of look into some avenues as to what you want to trade, whether and product-wise, what techniques you use, etc. There's my contact information. Basically, go to my website. It's CanadianFuturesTrader.ca. Is linked down below. All my social media, they're just listed on the site on the contact page. My main focus is futures, and you'll see on the site is funded futures trader programs. The companies where you do sign up, you do a tryout process. If you pass, usually in about 10 days, they will fund you, so then you trade their capital. So there's a lot of opportunity there. But if you want to learn more about that, just check out my site. There's tons of information. And then as well, these companies oftentimes run deals and discounts, and sometimes they even give me my own special deals and discounts. So there's links down below. And for the 100th time, just be sure to visit my site. There'll always be the latest info. I want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. And I'll see you in the next video.